So when I see these two divots, or something like that, I'm looking at iliopsoas, the hip flexor, that something's happened to lock this hip into position, and so the iliopsoas isn't able to move as it should. So if I were doing a session for him, I'd probably check in here at the sacrum. I would always ask him first. So when I say check in, I'm going to ask him what he's looking for his highest good. Yeah, hi.
He's a great communicator.
What do you think?
Aww.
We're going to do iliopsoas. So I'll do one contact, and then I want to show you guys a few contacts that, even if you're just holding intention, this area is softened. They're global contacts, so as a horse owner or a horse trainer, I think that you can have a huge impact. And Anna talks about the heart.
Yeah, the heart connection, the love lessons.
The love lessons. So, hi. So we're going to be in this shoulder girdle or thoracic diaphragm. And so I imagine that my hands come together in the center of his chest, somewhere in here, and I'm holding love in my intention and for his highest good. And I just hang out there until it feels complete.
What does that feel like?
What does complete feel like? It's different for every person. It's different. So you can only experience it, really. And it feels to me like the horse says, they actually move your energy back out, is actually what happens in a completion. It's like your energy gets pushed back out of the body. And it feels like they are ready for you to move on to the next position. And it's like information gets downloaded into your brain from the horse. The next one I will often do is the respiratory diaphragm, and that's, imagine that all horses have to breathe to be healthy, but they don't all breathe deeply. Just like people who chest breathe, there are horses who don't breathe and expand the rib cage. So I'll go find the sternum, and you glide back right about here. So we're at a bit of an angle. Okay? And you want to be mindful of your own body posture, that you guys don't contort yourselves into a position that's uncomfortable, because over time you're going to be all crooked, like the farriers who walk around, with their kinks and whatnot. So iliopsoas, I don't know if this is good for the camera angle, but we're going to look for this area as we come into the low back, into that lumbar, and then I'm going to position myself in front of the point of hip, and this whole iliopsoas going down into the pelvis is where I'm going to put my intention or energy. Do you want me to do it? And he can have us help you if you want. It's okay.
So it looks like he's breathing different, Tracy. If I'm looking at the side there, it's short and fast.
So typically when I bring attention to an area of restriction, they may go into a more rapid breathing pattern.
That's it. Yeah.
To release it. It's almost as if you're looking at something. So the body goes into a, wait a minute, what are you doing? And we're looking for that to change back to normal.
You can go forward on it.
Still doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at his nostrils.
Yeah.
If he were stressed, he wouldn't be really resting this leg like this. So I'm always looking, though, for the signs of is he stressed? Is he engaged? Is he listening to me? Or is he looking at everything that's going on?
And it is interesting because his neck's a little lower, and yet he's looking at everything that's going on. I don't think I've ever seen his nose make those movements. And it's not like he's looking into the air, so one direction, smelling a specific thing. He's looking around. And then the breathing where your hands are remains rapid.
Yeah.
Yes.
and yet his foot was relaxed.
Yeah.
So what I'm also saying, it's not like Reiki where it would be the head's down, he's yawning, he's not giving those signs right now. He's giving very different signs.
Smiling for the camera.
So what I was feeling as he was, I'm sorry, my apologies. I have an Excalibur said in his body that there was a little bit of a twist around this hip. And so as he was releasing the twist, the breathing got more rapid. And you saw it shift as soon as that muscle elongated, his breathing went back into neutral. And so the body goes into hypervigilance almost, but not, we don't want it to go into trauma drama, where we put so much energy in that they're like, the body goes into protective mode. We're wanting it to stay in, pay attention here, and how can we facilitate release? So that's, this is a very small portion. We should probably do a whole session for him before you leave, just to make him balanced, but that's what I would be looking for, these little tiny responses, him paying attention to me, but I also, they may not zone out. It's not like a massage where they go to sleep. They are part of the treatment, so they have to be engaged in it. If he goes to sleep, I'm a little bit concerned that I don't know what he's thinking or he's checked out. So I'm wanting to know if he's absolutely telling me moment by moment, second by second what's happening in his body. And he's been listened to and honored his whole life, so it's a very different engagement. A horse that hasn't had that, it will be very different for them. And so I'm always impeccable in my focus, but if I stray for a minute with another horse, it's not quite as forgiving. They will lose trust very quickly. Well done.
So for the benefits of these individuals watching right now, the heart-to-heart is great for connection.
The connection?
For finding themselves, I would think, too. For relaxation, for trust,
What did you say?
etc. The heart-to-heart.
Yeah, and then what did you say after that?
Study out about whales doing this, about their energy field and where they place what we would call their intention, or how they assemble reality with there's a whole energetic teaching around this. But when we go to the heart, we begin this connection where our hearts are in the same place. So I don't want to say entrainment, but I would say, like you said, connection. Also, imagine that's their balance. So we want that to be moving freely, that whole shoulder area, but the heart is no heart, no horse. So the pump has to be happy.
And so, don't know if you've had enough time to think about it, but your favourite position that the public could adopt for their own horses would be?
What do you think, X? I would say the most bang for your buck, the most connection you can have with the horse is on the dural tube. And by that I mean your hand at the top of the croup, the other hand here. I say that because the nervous system is under your hands now, and this, you're just tuning into the entire horse in this position.
So if you were looking at that in a chakra, you'd say at the throat chakra, and then at the sacral.
You know,
And I know it's not chakra
in
related.
terms of, I want to be in front of the withers
Okay.
and at the sacrum, because I want to know what, I have the entire thoracic, lumbar, and sacrum underneath my hands, in between my hands, and then I'm going to shift and say here to pull, okay? So then I have cervicals into the withers. And the reason I say this is you're connecting your whole horse. So you're connecting to them by doing the heart, then you're connecting the whole horse so that there's no disruption in that whole system. It's quite beautiful if you just tune in and see what's happening there.